Welcome to Thriving in Our 40s, the place where we talk honestly about midlife, the messy bits, the magic, and everything we're learning along the way. And if you enjoy this episode, please check out the previous conversations we've had. We've covered everything from menopause to nutrition, phone devices to stress. Please like, share, and subscribe. It really does help more people find real talk that makes them feel less alone. As a woman in my 40s, I feel that I'm at a little bit of a crossroads when it comes to my skincare. Can anyone else relate? Well, let me go on to explain. With more people around me having Botox and tweakments, although I am really tempted by some of these procedures, at the moment I am interested in finding more natural skincare alternatives that will still give me that skincare confidence that women in our midlife are seeking. That is why I'm so excited to welcome Sakina to Thriving in Our 40s. Sakina is a facial cupping expert, and for those that don't know what facial cupping is, it is a non-invasive facial treatment. With Sakina, we chat Botox, to the benefits of facial cupping, to the importance of surrounding yourself with people that bring you joy, and how this can be reflected in your skin. I think you're going to love this episode. Sakina, it is such a joy to have you on Thriving in Our 40s today. Thank you so much for joining us. We are here to talk about your work as a facial cupping therapist. But before we do that, I would love to talk to you about Botox and tweakments. Now, for a woman in her 40s, I think I can talk on behalf of many other, I think particularly women, not necessarily men, particularly women in midlife who haven't gone down the treatment route and prefer the more natural skincare routines. However, around us, more and more people are having treatments, or there is the pressure that we should almost be following them in that direction to keep up with them in some respects. Why do you think for women in midlife, Botox, fillers, treatments is so popular?
I think we are like social animals, right? And we tend to mimic what the people around us are doing. And the thing is, like, the more people are doing it, the more we are tempted to do it because everybody is doing it around us. And that's a big issue. And you know what? I moved to France. And I am in Brittany. And in part of Brittany, it's very natural. I have so many women having gray hair. I'm just like, I fit into the landscape, you know. And we had our son's birthday last week. And the mom were coming to pick up their sons. And I didn't know them yet, you know. We just knew in the area. And they were looking so stunning and like so natural. I don't know. There was this woman, she was a doctor actually. She had this long gray hair, a massive smile, a beautiful body, but she had some wrinkles, you know, but she was like shining. I think it depends as well who you are surrounded with. The bonding thing, and because everybody's doing it, nobody's questioning it.
I do feel, Sakina, it is becoming the norm. And I'm certainly not here to say that people shouldn't be doing it. I think it's obviously a very personal choice. And I absolutely agree with it. Everyone should have that choice. But for those of us who, like we mentioned earlier, don't want to go down the treatment route, what I've loved about your work, and we're going to get on and talk about it now, is facial cupping. Now, I've got mine here. Well, these are just some of the ones that you offer, these facial cups. And I have been doing it probably now for maybe 5 or 6 months, and I love it on so many levels, which we'll get on to talk about. But could you just give a little bit of a background as to what facial cupping is for those people that don't understand it?
It is like a reverse massage. Okay, so instead of applying pressure over the tissue to release some fascia adhesion, you are lifting the different layer of the skin. So you're creating a suction. Okay, by creating a suction instead of applying pressure, like a reverse massage, you will lift the different layer of the skin. And by lifting the different layer of the skin, you're giving space. And you're giving space for the blood to flow, for the chi, you know, the energy to flow, for the lymph to flow. So it's a way to get everything moving.
Absolutely, and it does revitalize you. I do find that when I do it, I do it at night time, and so I think I mentioned to it in a message to you when we first got in contact. It's a technique where you become very calm doing it because it's the motion of, you know, of cupping your skin and going and repeating it so many times. But at the end, you do feel revitalized because all the blood has come to the surface, and you feel awake. it does both those things of relaxing you, but it also
Yeah.
revitalizes you. So if people are doing this technique, Sakina, then what results should people expect to see, and how long can those results take to appear?
What I've noticed is like people who don't generally take a good care of their skin. Okay, some people they do nothing, and they're starting to have like dull skin or dry skin and wrinkles, and they start to do facial cupping, and the result is almost instant. For people who already are taking care of their skin, generally within 3 weeks, generally everybody has notices some results.
Amazing. And what is it doing to your skin long term then? You know, if you've just started out on this journey of facial cupping, and going back to the conversation we just had about tweakments, what can we expect long term from facial cupping compared to that instant fix of Botox or a filler?
First of all, we can expect a smoother skin. Okay, much smoother skin, because by helping the blood to flow, the chi to flow, the lymph to flow like regularly, like 2-3 times a week, we're helping our face to feel alive. Also, in my course I do a quick meditation where we just close our eyes. Even for 20 seconds, you will notice how much tension we hold on our face. Okay, so I do it every time I teach, every time, just 20 seconds, you just notice where you have the tension. It can be anywhere, like people experience all kind of tension, like on the jaw, on the forehead, around the eyes. And this tension creates some stagnation, can create like even some premature like wrinkles and sagging of the skin. It's all stagnation. We're holding tension without even noticing it. So through doing a lot of facial cupping, mindfulness, the more we do it, the more we close our eyes and we have less and less tension. Okay, it's just like we hold so much tension on our body, and that's why it's so nice to do some sports, some yoga. So we're moving all this stagnation, and it's true for the face as well. So when you're doing facial cupping, you help to alleviate this tension. And because you do it regularly, your life, your face just become like, some people people are telling me, all the messages I receive, they're saying like, oh, I haven't seen this person for a long time, and she told me like, I cannot see what you've done to your face, but you look so good. Or it looks like your age has reversed. We're just more relaxed. We have less tension. So
because you're relaxing those facial muscles through the movement of the facial cupping, and then you're also stimulating the blood to the surface. Exactly. And so everything gets flowing. I think it's important to talk about consistency as well, Sakina, because I think in our day we want instant fixes, whether that's replying to messages, whether that is food deliveries, whether that is next day parcel deliveries. We want everything to be very, very quick. So when you talk about facial cupping long term, what does that look like?
What does it look like? For me, I do it generally twice a week. The thing is, like, when I do videos on Instagram, it needs to look nice, right? I need to put it's often I do it during the day, and I have the right lighting, and I try to dress well, or I don't know, to look good, But most of the time, what I do is like, my kids are around, and I can be actually walking and talking to my children while doing it. Sometimes I don't, I'm saying like, okay, it's so relaxing and all that, but real life happens, right?
I think when it comes to aging, Sakina, I think it's also really interesting to talk about men's aging and women's aging. Now, you've already obviously mentioned the grey hair of the women around you, which I think is wonderful. I think that's very much associated with guys. The older they get, they become more silver foxes. They've got more lines. They've got the grey hair, and it seems to have become the narrative where men get more good looking as they age, whereas women, I still feel, although there are some really good spokeswomen out there promoting positive natural aging, off the top of my head, there's Kate Winslet, who's so proud of how she looks. But I think the general idea is that women have to fight aging, but men can embrace it. Why do you think we've got ourselves into that mindset?
Okay, so all the history of civilization, that women always had, to look like they are 16. I don't know. They were always like this vision of the woman as being the fertile and And because when we're reaching menopause, we're not fertile anymore, so we're not useful. And I feel it's actually changing a little bit. And in France again, I mean, I don't know. And maybe it's the part of France I am. I mean, I feel women like I feel powerful, and I feel I'm 45, but I feel like women around here. I feel like, I mean, they're owning the street. I don't know. I feel there is quite a lot of power in all these middle age. Can we say middle aged women? But I don't think it's a new thing. No, I think it's been forever.
Do you think the power is becoming from just what women are achieving in their life, opposed to how they're looking? Or do you think it's across the board? Do you think it's how they look and also what they're doing?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Like, probably what we are doing, like, how we're doing so much as women, it's really what we emanate, right? And when we're starting to be confident in what we're bringing into the world, we emanate, we radiate this beauty. I'm just talking about this mom of, for the birthday of my son, and I was just so stunned. And I can almost say for 100% sure none of them had Botox, and they were just emanating this power, like I think confidence, kindness shines. No,
without a doubt. But I'm also just going to kind of contradict that by saying, do you think people are open?
Yeah, maybe you know what? Maybe I'm. I cannot see. You know what? Maybe it's me. You know what? Maybe it's me not seeing. Are women open? I felt in the UK it was not a taboo subject. No? Do you?
It depends who you're with. I've got some friends who are more open, but it maybe takes a little bit of wine for them to open up. And then there are some people that don't talk about it, but you can see a difference. You can definitely notice the change from when you saw them last to where they might look like today.
But my friend, they have wrinkles, and they kind of, they own it, and I really genuinely find them so beautiful. I think it's all about what we radiate, and I think it's like we tackle the wrong problem. We are thinking, because what are we achieving? We're trying to be happier. We're thinking, oh, if I stay younger, I will look happier. But in fact, no, it's not tackling the problem at its roots. And the problem is like, we do Botox, we have less wrinkle, we lose the weight, we have less weight, and we're still unhappy. And then, in the end, it's like we come back to how we feel inside.
I think you've absolutely nailed that, Sakina. I think a lot of it is to do with internal confidence that we have. And that does come through. And like you say, you can change your diet, you can change your exercise routine, you can change your skincare, but unless you are happy inside, that's not going to be authentic on the outside.
In Chinese medicine, all the wrinkles have name. They are linked with emotion. So, the disappointment line, the marionette line is called the disappointment line. Or the one, in the middle. And we don't need to be old to have this line. The 11 line, the other line in the middle. It's linked with the liver. It's in the liver area. The liver is linked with frustration, with anger. And the more we are angry, when we frown. So it's just like, instead of having Botox, it's like, let's learn, to deal with this frustration. Why I am frustrated in life, or this line, why am I disappointing? I don't know. I think we need to do some inner work. Try to heal inside, and it's gonna manifest outside. Like this wrinkle. Okay, they happen because gravity happens. Okay, there is that, but there is also all this emotion, all this frowning, all this disappointment, this anger, this jealousy, this envy, that even sadness. There is sadness, grief, all that marks. Like we start to see the wrinkles, the face as a map of where we're coming from.
But also, aren't laughter lines some of the most beautiful things that you can see? When you know that someone is a happy person and they have these smile lines, they have the laughter lines, and you're like, they're obviously happy. Things are obviously good for them. And you want some of that, but then you're like, oh no, I don't want the wrinkles that come with it. So it's stripping all that back and realizing what is important. What is important to you. I don't know whether you maybe already answered this already, Sakina, but I want to finish up by asking, what does a healthy relationship with aging look like for you?
So very important for me is a diet. Okay. The diet. I mean, it's always the basics, you know. It's really the diet is so important. Maybe supplements.
What supplements do you recommend?
So it depends on the age, and I think we could take so many supplements. So I think it should be really tailored to you, and we shouldn't wait until we are sick to be able to make an appointment with a nutritionist or micronutritionist. Okay, so me, for example, I know like my estrogen are not well cleaned up in our body, so they can build up. I know as well I'm prone to inflammation in my body. It all comes from having seen a micronutritionist. And I think we shouldn't wait until we are sick to be able to do it.
Okay.
Because everybody say, oh, you should take this supplement, this supplement, this supplement. And it's true, like vitamin D, magnesium, omega-3, we should kind of all take it. But for the rest, it's worth it, you know, and just to see what are your weaknesses, what are your strengths, and take the supplement for you. So I really recommend doing it because when we're navigating through menopause, or perimenopause, we have so many fluctuation in our body, and knowing what's happening for us. I know my strengths, I know my weaknesses, and I know which supplement I should take.
Absolutely. And it's so personal, like all these things, but like you say, prevention is better than cure. So it's getting the internal balance right, and then I presume once you've got that internal balance right, it's going to come through your skin and even your hair and your nails and how bright your eyes are. So start with the diet, and then
diet,
build on
then
that.
Sleep. We forget sleep. I mean, it's basics, you know, sleep. Activities, you know, like it's always the same. Activities, going out, whatever we want to do, yoga, walking. Emotion, people you're surrounding with, you know. Are you surrounded with people that bring you the best, you know? It's important. I'm cutting off people also, but you know, I'm more true to myself, you know, like why I'm still having this relationship when it's actually bringing me down, you know, and my time is precious. Why I want to spend some time doing that and that, if it's not gonna bring the best. So I think emotion.
I think that is such a valid point. I think it's very easy to think that as we get older, we stay with the same friends, but actually we are changing as people all the time, particularly like you just alluded to, perimenopause and menopause. We are a roller coaster of emotions. And so we do need, like you say, the people around us that are going to bring out the best of us, give us that joy, but also give us that stability, or they give us that shoulder to cry on, or whatever it is. We surround ourselves with people that can support us with whatever emotion we're going through at that time, and we can obviously be that pillar to them.
And once that is in place, I think first of all we're gonna look better. You know, everything will be, you know, you have a good night's sleep, you're eating the right food, you have the right supplement, you have the right people around you. Your face already is gonna look better, and then you can add some therapy like facial cupping, gua sha, facial massage, having the right cream, but you will have the right foundation to be able to do it.
I think that is such a fantastic way of looking at it, that it's something that we need to look at it holistically, our life holistically, and through that our skin will benefit. It's not about doing something quickly if we're not eating right or we're not getting enough sleep. It's all going to be counterintuitive. Thank you so much, Sakina. It's been, like I said at the beginning, such a joy to have you here, and I'm so grateful for you giving up your time today. I'm going to put all your handles and your website details in the show notes, and so if people want to reach out to you, they know where to find you.
But thank you to you, Rachel. Thank you so much.